Well, I'm shocked once again with the latest information that was just released. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in this video, so let's get right into it. Alright, as always, we have a lot to cover in this video as I have multiple reports for you, so let's jump right into it. First off, for those of you located in the state of Colorado, some good news was just released. In your state, they're going to be offering a state-issued stimulus check, which they're calling a tax credit. Well, previously it was supposed to be $400 for an individual and $800 for a married couple. However, because they have a massive amount of extra money on their books right now, they're actually bumping it up from $400 to $750 for an individual and from $800 all the way up to $1,500 for a married couple. Amazing, right? So if you're located in the state of Colorado, please check that one out, as this is a program that has already been approved and these checks will be going out the door. So Colorado, please check that one out. Some money on the table for you, along with many other states out there right now that are considering doing something very similar to this. Next, for those of you located in Chicago, I want to throw this announcement out there for you really quickly as well, as this was just announced today. Willie Wilson, remember him? He's back at it again. Seriously, this dude is on fire. Here's the thing. Willie Wilson, he's got it going on right now. So over the last maybe 3 or so months, he's been doing multiple giveaways as far as gas. As far as I understand, I think he's done about $3.2 million so far in these gas giveaways. However, he just announced once again today another $2 million hitting the table in gas and food giveaways. So let me tell you the details on this. The food giveaway, $1 million is going to be on June 29th, and $1 million of gas giveaways, again in the Chicago area, will be happening on July 9th. So check those 2 dates out. If you're located in the Chicago area, please take advantage of this. Willie Wilson giving away free food and free gas in the area of Chicago. Again, June 29th for the food and July 9th for the gas giveaway. Pretty cool, right? I mean, seriously, this is so cool. I love what this guy's doing. Willie Wilson, back at it again. So I think he's into this thing for about $5 million now. I could be off by a little bit, but I think it's about $5 million that he's into this now. So amazing. Keep it going. Willie Wilson, I mean, seriously, what a cool thing that he's doing right there. So anyway, those of you in the Chicago area, please check that one out. That's coming up here quickly, and I want to make sure that you can take advantage of it if you're in that area. Next, let me tell you about another shocking report that was released as well. And this is a classic example of an entrepreneur stepping up and lowering prices for virtually everybody, and then the government basically just like wasting money. But they could be taking advantage of what this entrepreneur has developed and saving billions of dollars every single year. So have you ever heard the name Mark Cuban? If you haven't heard of him, I've talked about him here multiple times on the channel. Anyway, he's an entrepreneur. He's a multi-billionaire, self-made billionaire, by the way. Anyway, I love reading stories about these guys and just kind of hearing like what they've done to amass these huge fortunes that they have. Anyway, that's kind of beside the point. But the fact of the matter is, a few months ago, I think it was late last year, he started a new website where basically you can go on there and get hundreds of generic prescription items for very, very cheap. In fact, I've looked into it. I've made dedicated videos here on the channel talking about it shortly after he launched the website. I believe it was in November of last year, 2021. So it's been up for, a number of months now. And again, I could be off a few months there, but it was just recently launched here within the last, handful of months. Anyway, you can go on there. You can get cheap prescription items. It is not ran through your insurance, but rather it is cash pay. But even being cash pay, it's still significantly less than what a lot of other pharmacies are charging, even through insurance. So if you haven't checked it out, I'd highly recommend checking out this website, just because from everything I've read about it, it looks like things are very, very cheap on there. Anyway, it is Cost Plus Drugs is his website, so check it out. But anyway, here's what the report showed. If Medicare actually just ran their prescription program as far as like having people buy their prescriptions through his website, Cost Plus Drugs, again, Mark Cuban, check it out. If they just ran all their like generic prescriptions through that, they would save $3.6 billion every single year just by running their prescriptions through this billionaire's website. I mean, seriously. Leave it up to the public sector, right? Leave it up to the billionaires out there, the entrepreneurs to outthink the government and do this. I mean, seriously, right? $3.6 billion Medicare could be saving every single year just by running this through his website. So, will they do it? Who knows? But hopefully they do. That's almost $4 billion, $3.6 billion that they could save. That's a massive amount of money, right? I mean, let's be real. That's a ton of money. Who wouldn't want to save any money, right? Here we are, the consumers stepping over, pennies, trying to pick up pennies, saving $1 here, 50 cents there, and Medicare could be saving $3.6 billion a year just by this one simple transition because a billionaire went out there and he was doing it, negotiating and set up this simple website. And basically he's got an amazing business out now helping a bunch of people save a ton of money, which, by the way, I've already said it, but I want to throw this out there one more time. If you are somebody who takes any type of prescriptions and they are generics, I would highly recommend going on there and checking out this website. I've looked around it on a few times myself. I've read tons of reviews on this stuff, and it looks like the website is very, very cheap compared to what a lot of pharmacies are actually charging. So please check it out if you're interested. If not, that's totally fine too. Otherwise, the website is Cost Plus Drugs is the website. So check it out. Next, let's quickly talk about what an economist is now saying in regards to what's going on right now with all this massive inflation. So Larry Summers, in fact, I believe I talked about him maybe earlier today or yesterday. I don't remember exactly which video it was, but I recently talked about Larry Summers. He is previously a Treasury Secretary, so a former Treasury Secretary who, which by the way, that position is now held by Janet Yellen, which we'll be talking about here in just a second as well. Anyway, Larry Summers was out and he was talking about what we need to do to get this 8.6% inflation under control. You'll never believe this. Again, when I do all this research, it's every single day I think, what am I going to learn today? Seriously, what could I possibly hear today that I've never heard before? Well, sure enough, every single day I hear something new, right? So it's just unbelievable what's going on right now. Anyway, Larry Summers has said that we would need to see multiple years with the unemployment rate over 5%. That's number one of this piece of the pie, which, by the way, the unemployment rate as of right now is 3.6%. So we would need unemployment to raise by about 1.4% going forward for many years, according to Larry Summers. In addition to that, we would need to see about 10 million people lose their jobs. That's what they're saying, right? So about 10 million people would need to lose their jobs. The unemployment rate would need to go up to about 5% or higher for a sustained amount of time in order to get this inflation under control, right? So this is unbelievable what's going on right now. So this is just to get this under control. And what I've also been reading about this as well is a lot of the economists that are coming out right now, many of these top economists that we've been relying on and listening to for a very long time now, which, quick side note, Larry Summers is the one who is actually ringing the alarm bells many months ago saying, this is going to cause massive inflation. What is going on right now is going to cause massive inflation. Sure enough, nobody was listening. And then here it is, the massive inflation that he was calling on a year ago, saying, look out, the inflation is coming. And here it is, right? So anyway, he was right on. So here's the thing. This is what he is saying now, and a lot of other economists that are out there now saying what the Federal Reserve is currently doing right now as far as raising interest rates and quantitative tightening, things like this, it's the wrong recipe for what we're trying to bake here, right? So we're trying to bake a cake, and we have the recipe for muffins. It's just not working out, right? It's similar, but it's just not working, right? So anyway, kind of interesting to see how this whole thing's playing out, which, by the way, as I talked through that, I kind of felt like, wait, I think muffins and cake are kind of like the same thing, right? I probably should have used a better example, but that's just what I thought. Obviously, I'm not a baker, but anyway, I'm just kind of, doing my best here, right? So anyway, I think you get the analogy, right? So anyway, that is what he's saying out there. So we'll have to see what happens here, but according to what the economists and everybody are saying right now, in regards to what is happening, we are by all means falling into a recession. We are very, very close to it. We're basically already in one, according to some people right now, and it's likely going to get much worse going forward. So we'll see what happens here going forward. Next, let's quickly talk about Janet Yellen. Now, again, like I said, Janet Yellen is the Treasury Secretary. She's one of these people who is supposed to have a grip on what's going on right now, and we're supposed to be turning to her for all of the best advice as far as giving us guidance into the future as far as what's going on with the economy, things like this. And she has cited that a recession is not inevitable, which is also interesting because if you listen to the economists, they're basically saying that, a recession is pretty much inevitable at this point. So we will see who prevails here, who will be right and who will be wrong. Now remember, I'm going to throw this out there as well. Janet Yellen is also the one who said about a year ago, well, maybe it wasn't quite a year ago, it was last year sometime, maybe mid last year or so, she was the one that came out and said, oh no, inflation is transitory. In other words, it'll only be around for a short amount of time. It'll be gone before we know it. It'll have very minimal impact to this inflation. With everything going on, it'll have very minimal impact. Wrong. Totally wrong. Sorry, Janet Yellen, you're wrong. So anyway, she came out shortly, a short time ago saying, oh, sorry, I was wrong. Interesting, right? By the way, Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, was also barking up that same tree saying, oh, inflation is transitory. Don't worry, it'll go away shortly here. That was last year sometime. And yeah, sure enough, both of these two who were supposed to be, you know, basically in tune with everything going on, totally wrong. So yeah, kind of interesting, right? They kind of reversed that ship and they came out and said, oh yeah, actually inflation is no longer transitory. Duh. Yeah, we've known that for a very long time, right? So I mean, seriously. My point is, we got to watch this stuff closely. We got to do our own assessment because we need to read between the lines as far as what they are telling us and what is really, really happening. According to what I'm reading and what everything that I'm seeing, by all means, a recession is basically on our doorstep. The big house of cards that we've been building here over the last couple of years is basically collapsing on itself. And, you know, this is the situation that we're in right now. However, maybe this will bring something more out of it. I want to throw this out there as well. The last two recessions that we've had have produced stimulus checks. The back in 2008, 2009 produced stimulus checks. The one in early 2020, which was very short-lived as a result of the lockdowns, produced stimulus checks. Just saying, right? So anyway, there might be a little bit of hope in the air. Anyway, I will keep you posted as I get more details on any of this going on right now. These are some of the top headlines that hit the wire today, and I wanted to bring these to you to let you know what's going on here, how this is going to impact us going forward. And please remember, I am here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I do tons of research on this each and every day. I read between the lines. I look through the smoke and mirrors, and as these people are talking out of both sides of their mouth, I'm actually doing the research on this and seeing what is actually happening, right? I'm looking at what is rather than what is being said. There's a big difference. What is more realistic because it's what is happening versus just what somebody is actually saying. So anyway, I'm here for you. I want to help you out in any way that I can by keeping you updated and being here as your one and only daily advocate. So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in me. I really do appreciate it. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. And I'll continue to be here for you right by your side every single day, helping you out in any way that I possibly can by getting extra money, benefits, programs, checks, anything else we can possibly get our hands on right here, right now. So please enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Until next time, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next